We understand health when we also understand what is sickness. We understand love when we also know what it means not to have love, not to get support. When we understand what other possibilities are there, that hatred can be there, distraction can be there. And if you look more carefully, you can see it is one phenomena. We cannot understand one aspect of the reality without comparing it in this dualistic level. So, a deeper process of observation will reveal oneself, the so-called good and the bad, the so-called love and hate, the so-called light and darkness. It is one inseparable phenomena. And as our understanding becomes deeper, something which one can call a transcendence happens, because then one is not standing as superior to anybody or inferior to anybody. One is not standing to look down upon anybody or judge anybody, but one sees what is happening. And one does not fix somebody in a category and label and say that this person is so, but sees that at this point there are these factors manifesting. But every human being, when they have to come to their truth, come to their divinity, come to their real, authentic state, which makes them deeply fulfilled and free, they have to see this interconnected aspect of reality and go, in a certain sense, beyond the good and bad, beyond the right and wrong, beyond all the concepts which are relative and created in the mind level. The mind is very important for our way of being in the world. The mind is part of our evolutionary process. The mind has its function in our development as a human being. But we have to also see that the very mind which is conditioned and for the practical purpose very relevant is also something which functions like a robot. And the capacity we have as human beings is that we can observe this robot. We can observe, use this mechanism, and use it when we go in a conscious way about it, in service of love, in service of life, in service of what we see is beautiful and valuable. And not get unconsciously trapped in ways of reacting which brings pain and suffering to ourselves and to the others. Those who have been looking deeper have always been reminding this in different ways. That is why the ones who have come to a deeper insight have been calling this life process a mystery. Mystery means that there is something which is beyond our intellectual way of knowing and defining, which cannot be reduced into some logical knowledge and fixed. And that is our essence, that is our basis. And that we can only experience when we learn inwardly also to become silent. When we learn inwardly to observe this phenomena of the mind and not identify with it, and thereby attain inwardly a distance to the whole dualistic process. And that creates a state of openness and receptivity to look and experience the reality as a whole. This is possible, this is needed, and this is the invitation of life, that what we experience by being given the chance to be in this human body, to be in this life process where life is so dynamic, life is so full of possibilities and chances, where everything is so fully alive. This is the time where everybody can see through many things more easily, because the boundaries are not so fixed in the world now. In every area you can see there are possibilities to look through, look beyond. And that makes it also possible to get clear and ripe more easily in the inner development. Because many things are made more easy to grasp through the developments which has happened in the world. We know that there are different cultures, different religions, there are different ways of looking at the same reality, and everybody has a certain relevance in their own way. And when we sympathetically try to understand the differences, then we can see that different processes have taken place and developed according to the requirements which were in that area of the world, in that period of the time, having some relevance. Maybe they are not any more relevant or right in the present time, and that is what makes also that cultures are changing, the ways of approaching life are changing in every society, every culture. And this is very valuable, that we are in a time where we can travel, we can consider, we can get glimpses of different ways of living, different ways of seeing and experiencing the same reality. And that makes it more easy for one to turn the attention more inward and see that before one can really understand life more deeply, we have to understand ourselves more deeply, because we understand the life through ourselves, through the standards we have in ourselves, through the concepts which we carry, through the beliefs, through the desires and fears which we carry. So we have to become familiar with what we carry, through what we are looking, and learn also to go beyond it. That way it becomes a great blessing to oneself and to everybody. Every human being is here with a great chance. And when one looks carefully and courageously, without giving up, without trying to settle with some peripheral factor, then one will come to see that deep within, being authentically ourselves, there is tremendous joy and love. There is deep compassion and sympathy towards whole life. And there is silence, there is beauty. This is the basis from which we can also understand and see everybody in the right light. Otherwise, we are projecting through our conditionings, we are projecting through our past, and believe that the way we see is the reality. And when everybody is projecting through certain conditionings which they have, and not see that different people have different conditionings, within the same family, within the same area, each individual has unique conditionings which are subtly different. And that makes life very colorful, playful, but also very complex and difficult sometimes when we don't try to understand it in a very careful way.